The weather can't decide what to do with itself. We're out here for the end of April State of Lagoon play. Join us today on the XP Project. All right, everybody, my sincerest apologies. Had to take a little 10-day break. Work's been getting a little busy, so I shot the family out to California last week. It was super fun. We did 5 days out at Disney and a day at Universal, but I can tell you just, I'm gonna say this like a broken record, but coming into Lagoon, it's so much easier to get in and out of this park than the parks out in California. And so just walking in today just felt so good. It's really good to be back. A lot of people usually when they leave Disney, they're like, oh, super depressed and whatnot. Not me. I had a great time out there, but I'm ready to be back. I love this park so much. It's just so great. So today we are gonna do the end of April State of Lagoon video. We're gonna go around and see if there's anything new going on, check out some construction. I'm already seeing a few things that are looking good. So let's go check it out. All right, so my first stop here is this, the old candy shop. I know there's been a lot of speculation on what's going here because it used to be a kids bumper cars. I'm kind of looking at it now. They've actually made a lot more progress on this quicker than I thought. That first week that we were here, that would have been about 3.5 weeks ago. There was basically just like one wall up, and now there's a lot more going on, as you can see in these videos. They also do have a sign up that says this is clearly going to be the candy shop. It's going to be called Peacock Parlor and Carousel Candy, which is what it was named before. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But they've got like a little concept art picture here. It actually looks like it's gonna be really nice. This looks like a sit-down dining area in the parlor, which I'm actually really excited about because the Beer Gardens is really the only sit-down restaurant that they've got right now. So it kind of makes me excited that they're putting something like this in. So we'll keep an eye on this, but there's not too much to report, but I'll get these pictures on here so you guys can see how it's coming along. You know, for a second here, I got really excited about this little walkway that's going over by Terror Ride. And if you guys can guess why I got excited, I'm sure you do. I've been saying that the Terror Ride needs like an extended queue that goes over the walkway there, just because during the Frightmare season it gets really brutal right there. And I've said that it'd be awesome to have like some kind of like bridge extended queue. I don't think that's what this has nothing to do with Terror Ride. I think this is just to get the equipment from the parking lot into the candy shop construction more easily. But when I first saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, are they actually doing an extended queue at Terror Ride? But it doesn't look like it's even touching Terror Ride, it's just going across it. All right, so we're rolling over to the Century Swings. I want to see if there's any progress on that because it's been a couple weeks since I've been out here. I want to talk about crowds while we're walking over there. So it's busier than it was the first day, but definitely not peak or even close to. I parked over kind of by Wicked, and it was completely empty on that side of the parking structure. So there won't be any extended queue today. This is actually a really good time to come out. Summertime hasn't hit yet. Kids are still in school. I don't expect it to hit that peak until like May at least, so probably on our next construction video. But it's been really nice today. Sun's coming up a little bit. It's about 55 degrees. I know for a lot of people that would be cold, but it actually feels amazing out here. All right, so the Century Swings are still completely down. I'm gonna try to get a little view from the other side, but yeah, they're completely down. There's actually not really any progress from the last 3 weeks on this, so kind of tells me they're probably waiting on a part or something on this one. I don't think this one's gonna be up for a while, just to be honest with you. I was kind of predicting maybe it would be up by summer, but I think this is something that could be down a little bit longer than that. But with the age of this attraction, it needs so much work, I bet. So I'm really glad to see that they're doing it, but it's gonna be kind of a bummer if this is down all season. Oh man, I'm telling you, you cannot get better weather than today. This is just unbelievably great. It's like we're like kind of up to about 60 degrees. Sun's kind of coming in and out. Oh, this is just perfect. If it could be like this all year long here, I would just absolutely love it. I do like the heat. I guess be honest, I don't love it when it's like 110 degrees outside, but I do like the heat. It just feels really good. But you know, we're a dry heat out here in Utah. So it's like when it gets up to 90, you kind of just need to find some shade. Whereas like last week in Cali, it's like, it doesn't really matter where you are, it's just so humid. And so, man, this weather is just so great. Coming into Pioneer Village here, they got this nice Pioneer perk. Sign up for the new coffee shop, and it looks like this guy's maybe wanting to get some coffee. Hey, buddy. Man, the color on these peacocks this time of year is so great. I just absolutely love it. All right, so we're heading straight back. I want to see if there's any chance Rattlesnake Rapids is open, which I doubt. My guess is that they're probably waiting until... I'm just kind of trying to get a glance. You know what? I think it's open. We're gonna go back and check it out. I already mentioned this in the construction video, but I just absolutely love this new sign that they've got put up here. It just makes it look so much nicer. The color scheme on that sign just looks so good. And oh, actually, if you look here, the water is flowing. This is great. Come over to this other side here. You can see this right here is actually where the old log ride used to be. It used to go across this little river here. But man, this water is flowing nicely. A couple years ago, this was completely bone dry. And on that note, it looks like there's not anything going on with where the log ride used to be. Still just nothing. Like I said, I don't expect anything this year. I think they're just getting it prepped up for something. But just completely empty as of right now. But like I said, we still got to check on it because it's these construction videos. Okay, now I'm getting super excited. You know, I mentioned this in the last year's videos. They put the new Rattlesnake Rapids sign up over the official ride. That little sign we saw was just in the entryway, but they've got the whole big snake back up with the rapids. Oh, this looks so good. I couldn't check this out on the last construction video because they had this area closed off. But Rattlesnake Rapids is rolling it. That sign looks so good. Oh, it's been gone for a while and that just looks so good. This ride is such an iconic ride.
What's up, XP Project? Go subscribe to this guy, y'all.
You know, it's so good to see them putting some love into this ride because really during the summertime, there's a great argument to be made, besides Primordial now because it's the newest, that Rattlesnake Rapids is the most popular ride at the park, especially during that hot season. So it's really good to see that they're putting some love into it. All right, so I want to pop up on the board here, just our May and June schedule. I like to look out about 2 months ahead. So if you look at that calendar, starting Sunday, the 26th, we'll now switch to the full time. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to keep the park open till 9 p.m. on those pink days that you can see on the calendar, and then open till 10 p.m. on the green days. So we're really only about 3 weeks away from this kind of just weekend schedule right now, and then it gets into full swing. I will say I want to walk and talk about this for just a minute. You know, take a screenshot of that calendar just so you kind of know when that starts, because those weekdays, once summer starts, those weekday nights, in my opinion, are one of the best times to come to the park in terms of crowds. It can get really hot, and so I think that's why it deters a lot of people.
Hey, XP Project, subscribe to him.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, so what I was saying is that it gets really hot during those days, but the weekdays during the summer are always going to be your best times to come, weekday nights. I think it's just because, you know, people have school the next day and work the next day, so it just doesn't get like super busy. This park isn't like other parks like Disney and stuff where every day is busy. It really, I mean, it sounds just stereotypical, but it's like Saturdays are the worst day to come, hands down. Even with the stream and stuff, I tend to just try to stay away from Saturdays because they just end up being just way too crowded. Especially during the summer, it just gets into overflow and it just gets kind of not fun. All right, so let's pop out of Pioneer Village, head back over to the south side of the park. I don't think there's much to report down here, to be honest with you, because there's not really anything that's been down, but I like to go through the whole park and just see what's open and closed. Crowds are super mild this side of the park, which makes perfect sense because everyone's probably at Primordial right now. We'll go up there after this and check it out. The train does have an unusual large line right now. Not really sure, maybe it went down or something because usually it's not that long. Oh man, I'm smelling the teriyaki sticks grill. That's actually one of my favorite places to eat at this park, especially if you want kind of a quick, you know, small meal. You're not going to get like super full from one of those bowls, but if you just want kind of a quick meal, teriyaki sticks is great. All right, cliffhanger is down, and it does say that that is due to an arrival of late parts. That actually doesn't surprise me at all. This ride's always down. I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if this ride's not up at all this season. I mean, I've kind of been saying that they honestly should just get rid of this ride. It seems like it gives them more problems than it does not. But I don't expect this ride to be up anytime soon. If they're waiting for parts, it might be something that's down long after summertime. And then by the time like October hits, it's kind of pointless riding this ride. And so they just kind of put the skeletons on it during the Frightmare season and call it a day. You know, it's great, and one of the reasons why I say come this time of year, I haven't seen one ride that's more than like maybe like a 3, 4, 5 minute wait is all. And it's just such a contrast because last week we were in Disney, and even though it's kind of a slower time at Disney, that place was just brutally packed the whole time we were there. And it's just nice to see that it's not that way yet. Now, during the Frightmare season, you can argue that this gets as busy as Disneyland, but we'll talk about that in a few months. We're still a long ways away from that. All right, so south side of the park's looking good. Besides Cliffhanger, which is always down anyways, everything's running good and everyone's having a good time. So we're gonna head back up to the north side of the park now. I kind of like to make the pre-predictions just a tiny bit. I think Primordial is gonna be like a 2-hour wait like it has been the whole time. I think we're gonna see that pretty much the whole year, but if we get there and it's slow, we'll go on it. All right, so as I was walking, the little guess it game where you like guess your weight and stuff, there's a little sign out there that says game punch tokens and what did it say again? Game, punch cards, and tokens sold here. So we're gonna delve into the carnival games a little bit more in the upcoming videos, but it seems like that's gonna be a spot where you can buy those tokens. And I know that they said that they do take like Venmo and stuff like that also, so we'll delve into that in a couple weeks. So just as we head up to the north side, I'm passing a little theater right now, and there's not really much going on there yet. I thought maybe there'd be some more props and whatnot, but that first Smoke and Mirrors show starts on May 25th, so we're like 3 weeks away. So we'll keep an eye on that in the next couple weeks. Oh man, I'm walking through like the kids land here, and I'm getting just like every 30 seconds I'm getting a whiff of like funnel cake and French fries, and it's like, oh, it just smells so good. I think I've got like, I'm coming down off of like a little sugar crash, I think, from the Disney trip. So I'm tempted to get me like a funnel cake, but I just don't know if I can do it right now. All right, we're gonna be turning the corner here and seeing Primordial here in just a minute. I always like to be on camera when I see the queue because it seems like it never really surprises me, because even on slow days like this, it's just an insane queue. So we're gonna pop around the corner here in just a minute. Rocket's running, looks good. I love those new blue carts that they have on the Rocket. I think it looks good. At first I didn't know if it went well with the theme, but I like it. I think it has a little flair to it instead of making the whole thing just red and yellow. So I really like that. We're gonna swing back around to Samurai also, because that's obviously been down. I would bet anything I don't think that's gonna be running, but because it was still waiting on parts, but we'll go check that out in just a minute. So, oh, yep, just as predicted. Yeah, Primordial, you know what? Primordial's line I think is longer than it was the first week we went here. It's actually almost out to extended queue. Oh, wow. Okay, actually I was a little bit surprised then. That's way busier than I thought it was gonna be. Not getting in that line today, but if you're out here for one day getting it, it's worth the wait, but I'm not getting in it. So based on my reconnaissance that I've done on this ride, I would guess, if I had to make a great prediction, that that is 1 hour 45 minutes. And I think that's pretty accurate. We were just slightly shorter than that, and it was about 1 hour and 35 minutes. So I think 1 hour and 45 minutes would be safe to say. I think once it hits the extended queue, I'd say probably it's closer to 2 hours, but that's easy, 1 hour 45. You know, I didn't realize I could get such a good view of this little water area from down here. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with this. Hopefully in the next couple weeks or something, because it wouldn't surprise me if those little creatures up there like shoot water down or something. But just to see this full of water, because it wasn't at the end of last season, is great. You know, they did fill that area in with cement. That was just the blocks around for the cement structure before. But man, it just, looking at that, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if just nothing goes there, because Sometimes Lagoon isn't all about like the aesthetics, like a Disney park or something like that, but that would be a perfect spot to put like a statue or something, like maybe some kind of like dragon or elf statue that just goes up above those tracks that you go around at the first. It just adds so much aesthetics to the ride. We'll keep an eye on that in the next little bit. You know, I wanted to sit here for a minute and talk because I'm not going to go on Primordial. That's just way too long of a wait today. I'm sitting here listening to the music, which I love the music on Primordial. And I'm just sitting here watching the clouds above it. This ride just looks so great. I just love the aesthetics of it. I'm just sitting here looking at it right now. And the more I go on this ride, it's growing on me. You know, it's like the first time I went on, I was like, because, you know, you've built this, you know, 5-year hype up in your head. And you're just expecting like the greatest thing in the world. But the more and more I'm sitting here listening to the music and looking at the aesthetics of the ride with the clouds behind it, it's growing on me. It's a really good ride. It's worth the wait if you're out here for just one day. I'm not going to wait this long because I'm out here like 2-3 times a week, so there's no point. One word of warning, and you know, this is like on the subject of coming back from Disney last week. This is one ride that does go down a lot. There's a lot going on technically in this ride. I have been sitting here for about 8 minutes and the ride has not been going, and I'm tempted to go tell the people at the back of the line you might want to get out of the line, because that 1 hour 45-minute queue could easily turn into 2.5 hours with this ride down. It does go down a lot, so just be patient. Just keep an eye on it. If you're standing back at the end of that queue, and you know, you can see the whole coaster from that queue. If you're standing back at the end of that queue and you don't see a coaster going for 10-15 minutes, it might be a good idea to hop out of that thing, wait for it to come back up and come back on it later. All right, so as predicted, Samurai is down. You know, looking at that, they've got the whole thing out, like the whole ride is out of its socket basically. So I really don't think that's going to be up for the rest of this year, if you want my honest opinion. I don't think that's something that they can just like pop in over a weekend's time. Could be wrong. If you work here and you know otherwise, let me know. And I'm not like super offended by that. I know like a lot of people love Samurai. It's not one of my favorite rides. I just get super dizzy on that ride. I'd rather just turn the corner and go on Cannibal, honestly. But if you really love Samurai, I just really don't think it's going to be back up this season. I think that they're probably waiting on parts, and by the time they get the parts, I think that's going to be quite a little bit of a project, to be honest with you. You know, after being at Disney for a week, it's like the one thing that park does massively lack is just really good coasters. You know, they've got like Incredicoaster, Big Thunder Mountain, and I mean, Matterhorn's like a lesser coaster, I guess you could call it. Incredicoaster was actually down all but one of the days that we were there. They're doing a refurb on it. But just walking by Cannibal and Wicked and whatnot, it's like, man, if they added one of those type of coasters to Disney, it would just add so much value, because I think that's just one thing that park's lacking, is just some thrill rides. You know, passing through the Cannibal store, I caught an eye at this sweatshirt, and I know we're not in sweatshirt season really right now, but that is just such a good looking sweatshirt. It says the Lagoon, Utah since 1886, and it is $36.99. I really like that. It's a good color scheme. All right, everybody, I think that's gonna do it for our end of April State of Lagoon Day. Key takeaways from today: Primordial's busy. That's the only takeaway I took from today. No, I'm just kidding. But on that subject though, I mean, it seems like every single ride is an absolute walk-on except for Primordial. And you know, I'll say this till my face is blue, but Lagoon desperately needs new rides. I mean, people are just in love with this new ride. And I mean, rightfully so, it's a great ride, but it just goes to show how excited people are about a new ride. The fact that really, I mean, Cannibal, a ride that usually has a super long queue, is just an absolute walk-on right now. Everybody is in Primordial's line. And I love the dynamic, and this is the reason why I love coming to theme parks, because it just kind of shows how the human psyche works. And Lagoon, let's keep popping these rides out because people love these things. Another takeaway, I'm really excited about that Peacock Parlor that's going to be coming out. Excited to check out some food there. Hopefully that'll be ready maybe at least by next season, or maybe even by this season. And then the rides that were down, kind of the same rides, didn't have too many things. That Rattlesnake Rapids sign looked so good. Guys, we'll be out here next week now that I'm back from California. Let me know if you have anything. As always, I just really appreciate you guys so much. I couldn't do this channel without you. Thanks for joining us on the XP Project.